guys, and welcome back to another video. So of course a lot of stuff has been going on in the last couple of days, some really good stuff and well, some very questionable stuff. But before we get into all of that stuff, of course we have a brand new marketplace update, which if you didn't see, did have some pretty interesting suits, more so for Kate Bishop and of course the Iron Man suit. But I want you guys to rate this out of 10 in the comment section below in terms of this week's marketplace as a whole. Now for me, it's actually sitting at around a 6, and that's just because I genuinely feel variety is still lacking, but overall there's still some odd decent suits or skins, should we say, that do come up. But leave your thoughts on that in the comment section below. As always, go ahead and subscribe for more content regarding superhero video games, because we are actually going to start covering Gotham Knights as well, because hey, that's a game that just has so much potential, and here's to hoping that it also doesn't get delayed this year, because we know there are some games that are essentially in the danger zone and having to push their release date back. But nonetheless, let's dive into the information, because there are two very cool things that are going down. So to begin with, some people may have received an email, and if you haven't actually received the email, definitely check your spam folder. But what it is basically all your heroes and essentially just an overview, right? So the power levels and the level, etc. And now right at the end, it does officially tease Hawkeye, saying coming soon. Now if I'm honest with you, if this was to be said in like December, I would have probably been really excited for it, but because we more or less expected this character to be coming in January, and now it more or less indicates a February release date, it's kind of just, I just want Hawkeye to be released so we can just continue on with the roster as a whole. And also another thing to take into consideration with this is the weekly live stream that usually goes down with the devs was actually cancelled this week. Now this could be on multiple different factors, right? First of all, you guys know the situation with one of the devs that did work on the game being doxxed. Interestingly enough, I believe he doesn't have any involvement with the game as of right now in the current state, but I could be completely wrong. That's what I've just been told by multiple people. But nonetheless, that caused a big, I guess, chaotic situation in the community, which I had to address of course as well, because people were definitely taking it way out of context and just basically finding it funny. But again, I don't want to go back into that situation, but long story short, doxing someone is way more serious, both legally and to somebody's mental health as well, because all of their information is out there, and it's just a video game, so that never is any, I guess, good things come out of that. It's just one of those things, right? You just don't do it, and you never really thrive off somebody being doxxed. It's just not a cool thing to do. But nonetheless, that's what's going down with that. That was in an official email, and then things get even more exciting, because this is actually coming directly from Miller, and there is an email going around essentially recruiting playtesters for unreleased Marvel's Avengers content, and it is actually real. Now if you are wondering how we know it's real, well, Miller has multiple people approached him, and then he reached out to someone to actually confirm its authenticity. Now that is a really interesting little topic here, because are we talking about playtesting DLC content as a whole? Are we talking about replayable campaigns? Again, I don't know how you become a playtester, but this did happen, if I'm not mistaken, before the game was released, and we're talking way back before the release date. So I do believe it's a real thing. Again, if you have received an email for that, then great for you. If you haven't, then pretty much you're on the same camp as everyone else, which is me included. But nonetheless, it's going to be interesting to see what goes down with the live stream for the dev play being essentially cancelled or rescheduled. Does that mean even though we're still in the last week of January that we can more or less get the DLC dropped? I don't really know, but I'm sure you guys know how I feel both just emotionally and mentally with this game at this moment in time. I kinda have given up with it in some sort of sense, where I could say my expectations are probably a whole lot less, well, a whole lot less as a whole, should I say, compared to like if we were to go back 2 or 3 months ago. I had anticipation for roadmaps, etc. Now I just kind of expect something good to happen in once in a blue moon, pretty much, and that could be something as simple as getting a really good skin in the marketplace. It really is one of those situations, right? And this is where it's difficult, because I feel where our community is so close in the sense of we all feed off each other's ideas and etc, that there is still that core player base for the game. So it's like almost, okay, half of these people also don't really play this game as much, but how do you unplug from this game as a whole? I hope that makes sense, because that's the situation that I definitely can say I feel I'm in, and also multiple other people in. It's just we really have high expectations, and then there's no communication, and then you're like, well, at this stage, if the devs are giving up or at least not talking, then what do we do, right? Now, the only good thing that can come out from all of this, and when I say from all of this, I'm talking about the playtesting, that is that there could be some leaks. But again, it's got to a stage where I think the community are even bored of leaks. And remember how I said last time about the last live stream for the devs, where I said if essentially they're not going to be talking anything new content wise, then there's basically no point, you know, doing the live stream. And again, no offense to them, but that's just flat out, you know, being completely honest with the situation in the community. I still stand by my words, and that was exactly what happened. And well, again, although we got some slight teasers, we've gone way beyond the past where you can look at a leak and be really excited. I mean, it would still definitely get you anticipated for sure, but you get what I mean. We look way more forward to leaks than we do actual information. And even if a dev was to come out and say Black Panther's coming soon, I don't think that would faze anyone. I genuinely don't think there would be that much, well, I genuinely don't think there'll be that much people that will get excited for that, which is crazy when you think about it, considering how much of a big DLC character that is as well. So I guess we're all in a kind of sticky situation, but what is terrible is, of course, drama in a community as well that just causes so much damage to everyone involved in that. And I mean, you guys probably know when it comes down to Reddit stuff and other content creators that basically is going down, and sometimes it just comes down to the crappy situation where a lot of people are covering this game, and ultimately everyone has the same vision and goal for the game where they want it to be good, and then things get blown way out of proportion, and then the community become well, I guess, should I quote it, toxic, right? And then it just essentially gives a bad name on the community, and that's exactly where we find ourselves right now. So if you are watching this and you know about situations, I think the best thing that anybody could do is just, I guess, be kind to one another, and most importantly, just be a good person in the community, in the sense of it's just a video game, everyone wants it to do well, and if it doesn't, then hey, I guess that's pretty much it, right? If they pull the plug on the game, there's absolutely nothing that anybody could do for the game. So at that stage, you kind of just, I guess, depart. That's the time when you would officially unplug from the game as a whole. But most importantly, when it comes down to content creators and just overall people in the community, whether you're doing photo mode in this game and getting involved with sharing gameplay or pictures or whatever it may be, let's just focus on good content for the community in general, and just be positive and keep moving forward. That's basically my piece of advice to everything going on, both on the dev situation and the overall situation in the community. But guys, that's going to wrap up this video here. As always, subscribe for more content, and I'll see you in the next one. Till then, have yourselves a ridiculously amazing day, and adios amigos.